This video is brought to you by Law Excellence IAS Academy.
Dear students, good morning. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 18th April 2019. The first article, The Limits of Populism. This article emphasizes that we are trying to find ready-made or ready-fix solutions to our problems rather than addressing the underlying structural problems. So the reason is India looks for great men. That's what Ambedkar says. If we see the Indian history, the entire history is made up of great men and great people, as if others are irrelevant. And a few days back we saw J.S. Mill's statement. How big the leader may be, or how great or noble the leader may be, never compromise your liberties with him. So, these emphasizes that Indian society is more filled with charismatic leadership. Ambedkar again and again he clearly stated that never keep your liberties at the foot of any great man. The J.S. Mill statement he repeatedly stated to the people. So in this context, let us see this article. So masses in a democratic setup have a voice, and these masses are going to be mobilized through a charismatic leader, and there has to be a communication between these masses and this charismatic leader. So this communication revolves around a demon, an enemy, an antagonism, etc. So the state which is corrupt, inefficient, and it is projected in such a way that this system is not working in favor of these masses, that leads to the mobilization of the masses. The charismatic leadership's very trait is this: they are helpful to take a country from one situation to the other situation, but they will not be able to sustain that. That is the major problem. So it is more like transformational, but however, sustaining an initiative or activity and ensuring a proper governance through that is difficult. So in India, populism is a reality. So here the populism is seen from two dimensions: a populistic action and a populistic mobilization. What is populistic action? Giving freebies, it's a populistic action. A populistic mobilization, a charismatic leader is seen as a messiah, and whatever he says is right, and making the people bhakts or followers of that particular leader without questioning the leader. That's what is called a populistic mobilization or charismatic mobilization. If you take Indira Gandhi, Jay Prakash Narayan, VP Singh, Vajpayee, and presently Modi, all these are the examples for charismatic leadership. In this context, Indira Gandhi and Mr. Modi, there are many parallels between them. During Indira Gandhi era, Garibi Hatao, and she was seen as a very strong leader who can really change the life of the poor people in this country. And the same kind of mobilization happened in India during Modi's time. And Prime Minister Modi also has given a hope to the people. So now, in 2019, the narrative of the Prime Minister has changed. It's no more development, it's no more hope to the people, it is more about nationalism. That clearly shows that whatever the populism which he believed in is no more working in his favor now, because he is unable to live to the expectations of the people. So a populistic leader can survive only he is able to fulfill the needs of the people, and if he fails, the hope will be replaced with despair. That is what is the essence of this article. And the next, a crisis of credibility. This is about election commission. So Article 324, it talks about the election commission. So who appoints the election commission? It is the President of India on the recommendation of Council of Ministers. Election commission is not a single member body. It can be a multi-member body. Who decides either it is a multi-member body or not? It is by the President of India. So, election commission can consist of CEC plus other commissioners. The number of other commissioners will be determined by the President of India. The first weakness with regard to the independence or autonomy of election commission is appointment by the President of India. Tarakunde Committee, second ARC, Law Commission, all these have recommended that the appointment of the election commissioners shall not be by the recommendation of Council of Ministers. It has to be by the recommendation of collegium that consists of leader of opposition, Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India, like that. But however, still the old tradition of the same thing is being continued. And the second thing, all these chief election commissioner and election commissioners are co-equals. So let's take, if chief election commissioner is behaving autonomously, the government can neutralize his authority by bringing in two more election commissioners. As they are co-equal, these people can sway towards the government. And third thing, the election commissioners will not be promoted to CEC position not based on seniority. If you see in judiciary, a senior most judge is appointed as the Chief Justice of India. In the case of election commission, it is not the true. It is not the situation. So government can bring an outsider and can appoint him as a CEC, ignoring the senior most election commissioner. So that's why they have to be loyal. The election commissioners need to be loyal to the government to be promoted as CEC. That can compromise the autonomy of the election commission. So the government can ensure their loyalty by appointing the election commissioners of their own men. And the second point, the CEC has to be removed as like the judge of the Supreme Court. But there is no such a guarantee for the other election commissioners. They will be replaced or removed by the President of India. Only one safeguard which is there is President of India shall consult the CEC before their removal. So it means if the CEC want to protect the integrity of the election commission, then he can oppose it. President can override his decision and can remove the other election commissioners. The third most thing is the expenditure of the election commission of India is not charged on the consolidated fund of India. Finally, if you see under the Representation of People's Act, election commission can only recognize a political party, it cannot de-recognize a political party. If we can correct these challenges of the election commission, it can become more autonomous and it can implement model code of conduct with due attention. That is what the author talks about. For a free referee, so this is election commission and autonomy. Remember, recently model code of conduct and its implementation is getting diluted. And there are many accusations on the election commission that it is getting biased towards the party in power. In this context, the Supreme Court has come heavily on the election commission and suggested it to implement the model code of conduct with integrity. So, in this context, why the situation has gone to such a worse? There are systemic problems with the creation of the institution of election commission itself, which we saw in the previous article: appointment, removal, conditions of service, and everything. These are determined by the President of India with regard to the other election commissioners are concerned. And on and above that, if election commission asserts its position and power as like the TN session Lingdo did, no government can come in the way. So, in this context, the constitutional status itself has to give the necessary assertiveness to the institution of election commission to act like a referee umpire in a non-partisan manner. That is what this article states. And then the ethical act of voting. So, this article, what it says is we all have our self interest in place, and we also vote in accordance with that self interest. Either we vote based on an ideology or we based on someone paying us. It means whoever is fulfilling our self interest, to that way the vote is getting guided. It means we are seeing vote as a transactional instrument rather than a transformational instrument. So the author says vote is a moral instrument for collective transformation of all of us, the society in entirety. Rather than seeing it as an instrument for self interest, it has to be seen as an instrument for collective benefit of everyone. That's what this author says. If in a democracy, if we consider the expenditure in elections as an investment by the candidate, then the entire democracy becomes a mockery. Unemployment is the real national security issue. So, here, India is passing through the stage of demographic dividend. If opportunities are not being created to the people, then automatically this demographic dividend can become demographic nightmare. That is what Rahul Gandhi wanted to state over here. And the next, end of the runway. So, the jet airways is in crisis. Remember this point. we have insolvency and bankruptcy code. So why the creditors, the people who gave the money to the Jet Airways, did not resolve to insolvency and bankruptcy code? The IBC is existing exactly for these cases. This is the textbook case for IBC. So in this context, the banks showing the interest to revive a private company may not go well with the people of India. And government, if it tries to revive the private company with the taxpayers' money, it may not go well. And the second worst thing happened to the Jet Airways is the delay. So the delay in action by the banking sector, risk aversiveness of the banking sector, everything has made the things worse for the Jet Airways. So any company when its credibility is high, though it is in losses, credibility is high. When it has certain value, if you are able to sell it, we can retain its benefit. But that golden time and golden opportunity is missed. For my exam, if insolvency bankruptcy code is existing, better we go through that particular resolution process rather than creating alternative paths. That is not worth. And finally, thank you. All the best. Have a good day.